Code of Ethics provides in the policy manual law enforcement officers' fundamental duty to serve mankind and safeguard lives and property, and to protect the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression and intimidation. Is that right?
That is correct.
And if you could take that down, Minneapolis Police Department also has a professional policing policy. Is that right?
Yes.
At a high level, can you describe what professional policing means in this context?
Yes, our Minneapolis Police Department professional policing, it's really about treating people with dignity and respect, above all else, at the highest level. It's that we see each other as necessary, we value one another, and it's really treating people with the dignity and respect they deserve.
If we could display then Exhibit 215, and drawing your attention to page 4, section 5-104.01. Sir, is this the professional policing policy?
Yes, it is.
And could you read the first bullet, please?
The first bullet reads, "Be courteous, respectful, polite, and professional."
And if you would then also read the third bullet.
Ensure that the length of any detention is no longer than necessary to take appropriate action for the known or suspected offense.
But the biggest thing that was revealed to me was the fact that just like George Floyd said, "I can't breathe," they handcuffed him and put a knee in his back too. And Anthony McClain said, "Hurry up, I can't breathe." But seems like black men are not given the benefit of humanity. I mean, you shot us, we're mortally wounded, and you still handcuff us and put a knee in our back. What we believe, if they would not have put that knee in his back and handcuffed him, but tried to compress the bleeding, then maybe, Commissioner Daryl, maybe Anthony gets to survive. That's what Carrie and I have been talking about all night. Because when she pointed that out, then he said, "I can't breathe." Did you hear that? And I said, I didn't know that. That's important. The public needs to understand not only the unjustified killing, but then the unjustified actions after they shot and killed them. And then the second part of the video is just this whole thing. And I agree with Carrie and Dale. Whether he had a gun or not, the shooting is unjustified. But it certainly seems a far-fetched to believe he had this gun. When you looking at this video, you seeing all these people. Nobody sees the gun, not even the officer chasing him alleges that he saw him throw a gun. But then the seventh officer on the scene here comes up and he miraculously finds a gun that all these people who were around didn't see. You look at it for yourself. That's what we're saying. We'll have Attorney Harper go and then Attorney Gallipo, and then we'll get to
Then, during that traffic stop, the passenger of the car was asked to step out once the officer I should start all over. We have a traffic stop with 2 people in the car, and we have 2 officers. The driver of the police car approaches the driver of the traffic stop, and he has a suspended license. That's fine. The officer talks to the passenger and asks him to step out of the car. As he steps out, there's a quick little engagement, nothing unusual, except you see Mr. McClain begin to break away from the officer by beginning to run between the 2 police cars. And you'll see this on the video. When we release the video in less than 48 hours, I'm hoping 24 hours, you'll catch all the facts. So my comments are off by a bit, they'll be clarified as you watch the critical incident video and all the raw video that will come with it. And so as he begins to run, the car video shows Mr. McClain running between the 2 cars with a handgun in his waist. The driver officer sees the handgun. The passenger officer sees the handgun when he begins to run. They begin to chase Mr. McLean, one of the officers out in front. And during that encounter, within just seconds later, there are 2 shots fired by the officer as he's chasing him. You'll see this on the video again. And the officer could see Mr. McLean with the handgun begin to turn his body towards him. I don't know whether they're making eye contact or not until I read the statements. The video won't give us that perspective if they're making eye contact or not. But you can see the weapon begin to kind of turn with the body. Whether that just comes from turning ahead or something more was going to happen, there's no way for us to ever know that fact. So that it continues on. The officer, in fear for his safety, and for whatever reasons we'll find out, fires 2 rounds. One of those rounds, as we've heard, we were told that as Mr. McLean was laying on the ground, he was shot 3 times in the arm. Absolutely false information. As the pursuit's beginning, it's a foot pursuit, he fires the 2 rounds. One of the shots, as described by the doctor at HMH, strikes Mr. McLean's flank. The flank is between the front of your body and the back of your body. If that means the officer was, offset to Mr. McLean, or in fact, he began turning his body that way, we'll have to be able to investigate that to find out which one it is. I couldn't tell you, except the officer is behind him when he fires those 2 shots.